This is 270 odd acres in total. Some bits usable, some bits are not usable, basically from a health and safety point of view. 3 films that I've just shown you, we have walked up the left hand side of it, just going around to the top end now. Right.
And then goes here to where you see the tree line behind you on the right hand side.
Okay.
So
woodland area.
I would say it's probably possibly about 10 acres woodland.
Potentially 10 acres of woodland. You heard the man. And that's on top of the rest of the quarry. This part is usable. Area directly in front now may not be used due to loose conditions, loose underfoot, slippage. Just up over there is the quarry face as well, which again would be out of bounds from a health and safety point of view. However, most of this is usable, including that. The rest of the woodland carries on as well. So basically this is just one side of the quarry. More to come. Right, we've come from down there, walking up basically what is now the back of the quarry. These bits are usable. Nice flat area there. Could be used for something. From basically this point here, right the way up, where the large tree is the quarry face. So I would suggest that basically from that mound there is out of bounds, but the rest of that would be usable. It's just where we've come from. Large open area here, only accessible by one road, banking all the way round, and on top of that banking you then face back down to where we come from. That silver vehicle in the distance, centre shot more or less, is basically where we started. Virtually all of that area, all the way up, including the woodlands just there, right the way round, up to and including the bits from that we just walked from, are the site that we could use safely. That was a big tree we saw earlier on, which is on the quarry face, which we can't use, okay? And that's why. As you can see, it's vertical cliffs. There's a lot of loose stone. Far too much danger of somebody getting arse over tit and being dead. But again, it gives you an idea of scale. It's huge. What about the bed of that? The floor?
Yeah, that would have to be put as an option, discussion kind of thing.
Right.
Because then all you're going to be doing is encourage snipers to come up here.
I don't have a problem with that, to be fair. Derek, making my willy tingle. Another potential building for us to use, gentlemen. We will be going in and having a look momentarily. That cliff face in the distance is where we've just come from. All I've done is walk around at the moment and I'm fucked. Currently on the second story of the building that we just saw. All electrical machinery is off. Nobody's going to get fried. This was a rock crushing building. There's a number of ways in, doors, 2 staircases. Nice space, very nice space. Go to the 3rd floor. Jesus, those stairs are steep. Okay, where we've just come from. Boys, welcome to Sniper Heaven.
This is where we throw people out of.
I'm presuming they've got safety equipment on first.
Yeah. So lower people through these kind of things and they get practice in rescuing and working with the team.
That is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Okay.
Yep, lovely. That's the entrance to the building that we just come out of. I know, it's dark, you can't see much. But it's a 3-storey building. Right, all the videos preceding this one are of site number 1. We are now proceeding to the second part of Meldon Quarry, which is potentially usable. The second of 3. Yeah, 200 plus acres here. Somewhere over there, by that mound, is where the car is parked. This is just a huge, flat area for the most part. A few hills in it and what have you, which would be good to play in. But this particular bit leads down to what has been lovingly called the bowl, which is this, which potentially is usable. And it is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a bowl. Plenty of area of coverage, or plenty of places to hide behind. 2 points of access. One being just over there, leading up to around there, and the other one leading up from there up to there, back round, back onto this big flat area here. Anybody fancy building a town? Gentlemen, wildlife. There goes a young deer. Okay, we're at the other end of the bowl at the moment. Viaduct over there. You can see Meldon Reservoir just over there. Okay. This is basically the boundary edge, where the bushes and stuff are just there, and the wall, and that's looking into the bowl from the other end. This just gives you some idea of the scale and the size of this place. It's absolutely huge. Like I've said, 270 odd acres. And now the iPad's decided to play silly sods and it won't stop recording. Right, we'll just keep going until it wakes up. It just really is awesome. Like I said, I've lived out here for a while and I've never ventured, never bothered to come and have a look. And I really wish I had, because it's bloody fabulous. I love it. Oh, some more wildlife. Say cheese. We're just making our way back to the car on the other side of the flat ground. So you've got a few hills that you can use for hiding behind, climbing over, and what have you. What is that? It's just a tunnel leading through to the road.
Just an older bit of metalwork.
Okay.
Quarry works.
Which has been turned into a nice little house for a couple of sheep. Okay. I don't know if you can see that in the distance, lads, but there's like a line runs across the hillside. The quarry owns that as well. However, the fields are leased by a farmer, so we wouldn't use those. But there again, I don't think we need to. We've got more than enough space. Again, you can see the quarry face in the distance, which goes all the way around to there.
That's the tree where you were stood before. straight opposite now.
Oh yeah, that big tree that we were talking about where we were on the cliff, that's basically straight in front of us. You can see it just over there. Oh, by the way, meet Howard. The gentleman who has been showing me around this place and is potentially going to be our landlord.
Dartmoor training area up the top there.
Right.
There's all the red flag.
Okay. So we're basically just making our way back round to the car. Edge of the bowl is just over there where those big rocks are. So you come all the way back round. We're back to the car. This has got to be probably a good 20 to 30 acres on its own, just this bit that we've looked at. There's a good, I'd say it's actually more, and that doesn't include the bowl. So it's huge. You remember the cliff face that we were looking at? That's it in the distance. We're basically stood just outside the offices. The guys are very, very open to us coming in as just a home for the clan at this point. Permissions need to be sought from the people that own the quarry and also Dartmoor National Parks, but they haven't said no. It's just a case of a phone call in a couple of weeks' time. So, that's pretty much the end of the video. Gentlemen and ladies, discuss. While I'm in the car, that's where we've just come from. You can see the offices. Right, so we'll do access to the site itself and the drive out. So that bit up there leads to the bowl and that large flat area, and we've got an unpaved road, or rather a paved road all the way down. The beauty with this is you come down the A30, and I would say from the point when you leave the A30 it's less than a mile to the turning for this road that we are currently on. So, just tootling our way down. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. You can see the viaduct just in the background that I showed you earlier on. Squirrel. So as you can see, it's a perfectly good road. No 4x4s or anything needed. Well, not on this bit anyway. Might need it once you actually get into it. Oh, squirrel. Out the way, soft arse. Go on, run away. Thank you. Bloody squirrels everywhere. So it's a nice little run. Very pleasant. It's not easy to drive and hold an iPad at the same time, but one is doing one's best. So the discussion has basically been, at this point we would take over one area to start with, just to see how we get on, you know, foot in the door, that kind of thing. And we see how that goes. And I reckon for a home at this point, it's as close to perfect as you want. You know, we've got 10 acres of woodland up at the top there, as well as the actual areas that were quarry. There's buildings up there that we can use. They have absolutely no objections to us putting up things like sheds, building a village, something like that, using pallets, and barrels and that kind of stuff. We can create scenarios and things like that to our heart's content. Alan, who you saw earlier on, is ex-forces anyway, so, and he's extremely interested. Oh, this is quite good. Okay, because that is the A30. And basically at the top of that hill, I know it's difficult to see at the moment, but at the top of that hill is where you come off the A30, and you follow it round and it will bring you onto this road. So there's very, very good access, excellent access to it in fact. Take you back to the point where we turn in, so you can get an idea. The only snag at the moment is it looks like we're going to have to use biodegradable ones, because I think he said it was a triple I site, whatever the fuck that is. Right, and there you are. That's the road that comes off the A30. There's a pub that sells food and things like that. You can get the car washed, and that's the road into Oakhampton itself. So there you are, gentlemen, Meldon Quarry.